Now, she's the teen singing sensation who shot to fame on the talent show The Kid's Voice. And this morning, Lucy Thomas.
What if one of the most unforgettable voices of this generation wasn't discovered in a major music hub like London or Los Angeles, but in a modest town tucked away in the northwest of England? Script. In the world of modern music, stars are often born under the spotlights of viral moments or major studio launches. But every so often, a voice emerges quietly, pure, unshaped, and entirely unforgettable. That's exactly how Lucy Thomas came into the public consciousness. Born and raised in Wigan, a town in Greater Manchester best known for its industrial heritage rather than musical exports, Lucy's story stands as a compelling counter-narrative in an era dominated by instant fame and commercial hype. This young artist's path is one of early promise turned into determined progress. Lucy began singing at just 7 years old, and even at that young age, there were signs of remarkable vocal control and tonal precision. But what separates Lucy isn't just raw talent. It's her sustained, measured rise in an industry known for quick turnover and fleeting attention. Her journey from bedroom rehearsals to millions of international viewers is the type of inspirational trajectory that rarely plays out without serious backing. Yet in her case, the foundation was community, talent, and consistency. Over the next few chapters, we'll explore how a teenager from Wigan broke into the global stage without the typical pathways, analyzing the strategic, personal, and emotional elements of Lucy Thomas's rise. From a key television debut to viral covers, record deals, and live orchestral performances, Lucy's story proves that discipline and authenticity still resonate in an increasingly synthetic. Lucy Thomas was born on February 21, 2004, in Wigan, Lancashire. To the casual observer, Wigan may not appear as fertile ground for a breakout musical talent. It's a post-industrial town, known for coal mining history, rugby, and pies. Yet within its streets was a young girl whose voice carried far beyond the town's boundaries. While many children explore music through school plays or casual interest, Lucy began vocal training as early as age 7. This formal instruction set the tone for what would become a highly refined classical pop crossover vocal style. What's particularly noteworthy is the contrast between her surroundings and her ambition. Wigan is not short of pride, but it is not generally linked with glitzy entertainment circuits or top-tier music education. Lucy's journey began not with flashy opportunities, but in quiet determination. Family support, local performances, and small competitions laid her early foundation, the kind of grassroots build-up often overlooked in the age of TikTok fame. Interestingly, Lucy's early influences were not traditional pop icons. Instead, she gravitated toward musical theater, classical pieces, and powerful vocalists, suggesting a deeper, more mature artistic palette from the beginning. Even before television producers or record executives took note, Lucy had already begun to shape her identity as an artist with longevity in mind. Her development was methodical. There were no overnight sensations or accidental uploads that went viral. Instead, she built a skill set quietly in the background, and it was that steady progression that set her up for the moment that would bring her into public view. What came next wasn't just a breakthrough, it was a transformation. In 2018, at the age of just 14, Lucy Thomas stepped onto the stage of The Voice Kids UK, a high-stakes, televised competition that has launched many young talents into the spotlight. But this wasn't just another audition. What happened next set the tone for Lucy's national debut and ultimately her global journey. From the moment she sang, judges and audiences alike were struck by a level of vocal maturity that defied her age. Her range was extensive, her tone crystal clear, and her control under pressure was exceptional. Reaching the semifinals was impressive in itself, but it was how she performed, not just how far she got, that mattered more. Lucy's rendition of timeless songs with emotional resonance positioned her as more than just a reality show contestant. She was an artist in formation. The exposure from the Voice Kids opened crucial doors. While Lucy didn't win the competition, she arguably won something more valuable: industry recognition. Shortly after the show, she signed with Cavendish Records, a move that indicated real belief in her as a commercial and artistic force. Cavendish, known for handling artists with crossover appeal, saw in Lucy something rare: a voice suitable not only for covers, but for transformative interpretations. This phase marked a pivotal shift. Lucy was no longer simply a promising talent. She was now backed by professional infrastructure. Studio time, orchestral arrangements, and vocal coaching all became part of her toolkit. But it's important to note, she didn't abandon the modesty or focus that defined her early years. Instead, she leaned into them, letting authenticity remain central to her appeal. The real question became, could she maintain momentum once the lights of the talent show dimmed? As it turned out, Lucy Thomas wasn't just a spark, she was the start of something much brighter. And what followed confirmed that her journey was just getting started. Following her appearance on The Voice Kids UK and the subsequent record deal with Cavendish Records, Lucy Thomas transitioned from televised talent to professional recording artist with striking speed. In February 2019, less than a year after her national debut, Lucy released her first studio album, aptly titled Premiere. The project was ambitious for any artist, let alone one barely in her mid-teens. It featured a selection of theatrical, classical crossover, and pop covers that showcased her technical range and emotional delivery. Critics and fans noted one thing immediately: this wasn't a case of a label trying to force a trendy pop star onto the charts. Instead, Premiere was a carefully crafted body of work tailored to Lucy's strengths. The production style was elegant but restrained, allowing her voice, not synths or effects, to take center stage. But what followed next truly separated Lucy from other young artists. Rather than slowing down after her debut, she doubled down on her output. In 2020, she released her second album, Encore, continuing her exploration of emotional ballads and cinematic arrangements. Then, in 2021, came Timeless, her most celebrated release to date. That third album included a rendition of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, which not only resonated with fans globally, but catapulted her digital presence through the stratosphere. What's remarkable is the strategic consistency across these projects. Each album was released roughly a year apart, building steady momentum rather than chasing sudden virality. Lucy's vocal tone matured with each release, and so did her interpretation of the songs. Far from being rushed, her discography tells a story of intentional development, one rooted in discipline, not desperation. The choice of songs also reveals a conscious branding effort. Rather than modern pop covers, she often gravitated toward timeless ballads and theatrical pieces, selections that demanded both vocal prowess and emotional intelligence. This differentiated her in a saturated market, aligning her more with the likes of Sarah Brightman or Jackie Evancho than typical teen pop idols. The trilogy of albums positioned Lucy not just as a gifted vocalist, but as a developing artist with a defined artistic direction. And yet, despite solid releases and modest chart impact, it would be her online presence that truly turned her into a global phenomenon. The next chapter would be built not in studios, but online, in full view of millions around the world. While Lucy Thomas projected calm professionalism in every video and album, the reality behind the scenes was likely more complex. Born in 2004, Lucy was navigating the pressures of adolescence while simultaneously building a public persona and professional music career. Most artists her age were still figuring out who they wanted to be. Lucy, meanwhile, had to present that image to the world polished, consistent, and marketable. The music industry is notoriously difficult on young artists. From social media scrutiny to commercial pressure, the demand to constantly perform and produce can quickly take a toll. And unlike child actors or TikTok influencers, vocalists face an added physical demand. The voice must be protected, trained, and managed, especially during years of physical growth. One challenge for Lucy was likely the balance between personal privacy and public curiosity. Despite her growing fame, she has revealed very little about her private life. Online sources confirm she remains single and deeply focused on her career. Unlike many of her peers, she avoids public romantic speculation or dramatic lifestyle content. It's a deliberate move that has helped her maintain control over her narrative, a rarity for someone in her demographic. Another potential stressor, the pace of her output. Between 2019 and 2021, Lucy released 3 full-length albums. While fans praise the consistency, such a schedule can be demanding both emotionally and creatively. Choosing the right repertoire, preparing arrangements, recording, promoting, and then repeating that cycle annually could lead to burnout, especially in a genre where emotional connection is everything. Even stylistically, Lucy faces an identity tightrope. Does she remain a cover artist beloved for her renditions? Or will she transition into original material and risk alienating part of her core fanbase? These artistic crossroads are difficult for any singer, let alone one still navigating the transition from teenager to adult. Yet through it all, Lucy has remained composed. She continues to rehearse diligently, produce high-quality content, and engage respectfully with her audience. If anything, the challenges have deepened her commitment rather than weakened her resolve. And in 2024, she made a bold move to take everything she learned, the voice, the control, the stagecraft, and apply it in the world of live theater.